Hello and welcome to Talkin Yanks, brought to you by DraftKings. We're talking about Gio, the God, Urshela. See that Gio play?
Gio.
He's the youth of my nation. You see that Gio play?
Yeah, sure.
Remember that play, man? Gio Urshela, welcome back to another player profile on projection here on Talkin Yanks. My name's Jimmy. His name is Jake, BBD in the corner. We're talking about Gio, the God, Urshela. What's his season going to be like? He has started in spring, so I think the injury stuff is gone. Someone asked me, a non-Yankees fan that followed me on Twitter, Jake, that asked me, who do I have?
Wasn't their name Elon Musk?
Yep. Yeah.
Asked you, okay.
Asked me, who do I have more hope for? Clint Frazier, Gio Urshela. As an Indians fan, they're like, which ex-Indian do you have the more hope for?
I like
Gio
that.
Urshela or Clint Frazier? And my response was, the word hope isn't attached to Gio anymore for me.
Yeah.
It's just excitement, and I'm ready. Because his last 2 years have both been incredible. Like, incredible. Can we get the stats up for last 2 years? You read them. You read them to me yesterday.
I'm a stats factory over here.
Stacktory.
Jim, Gio Urshela has played how many games with the Yankees?
147.
175.
Okay, more than I said.
More than you've said. More than Clint Frazier has played, if we're going to keep the Indians comparison going. Gio Urshela in 175 games has a .310 batting average. We've seen Gio Urshela be well over 300 hitter since joining the Yankees. A .358 on base and an .881 OPS. That's a 133 OPS plus. While, Jim, we fended off fools, the analytics defense guys.
Oh, my God, I forgot that people were saying he wasn't good.
Because it didn't look like he graded out well defensively. They literally changed some of his defensive stats after the season to make him look better because the nerds knew they screwed up.
Yeah.
And then he came out last year, and he was a stud defensively as well. He put up a 2.1 WAR last year in 50 games, like 43 games, which, again, WAR, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I always
do what you want with it. It's a metric.
I always don't.
He was good.
I don't input WAR.
Sure.
So what is good? What's bad? If like I'm a dumb audience member right now because
Okay.
I've never cared about it.
Wins above replacement. I think the easiest way to sum it up, and this is from Baseball Reference, if someone lands around 8+ WAR over an MLB season, that's kind of MVP caliber.
Okay.
You're going to, like, Trout's best year are like 10 WAR seasons.
Okay.
So you're going to see MVP. Judge's best year, I think, was just short of an 8. 5+ WAR are all-star kind of guys.
Okay.
And then 2+ is like a starter. So, and, you know,
it's a cumulative, though.
It accumulates.
So that's why you're impressed with 2 over 60.
It accumulates differently, you know, with hitting and defense. And it's not a perfect science. You can't live by it. But I will say, if you find at the end of the year the guys who are 5 WAR players, it's going to be a group of ball players you like a lot. So it's not everything, but it is a way to track how it all comes together. And yeah, I mean, what that says about Gio Urshela and his time with the Yankees is he's just been really damn good. He's
really
been an all-star level player.
Yes, but he has. We've seen that.
Yes.
And, like, all his old school stats show it as well. Like, .310 batting average over 170 games is pretty good these days.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's incredible. It's incredible, and it's all real. Me and BBD were talking about this a little bit before, like, well, I just mocked the nerds a little bit because if you weren't going by the eye test on his defense, you're a fool. Everything makes sense. Like, it's not fluky. The hard contact is real. What he does at the plate has been very real. So I think when you mention hope, you know, on a lot of these PPPs, we like to cover the spectrum of what could happen. You know, what's their high end, what's their low end. I think this might be one of our happiest PPPs. I've only seen good from this dude. It's all I know.
Yeah. It's true.
The bottom's never fallen out.
Last year, he was in the top 10% in strikeout percentage, which is good.
Good.
He was in the top 10% in expected batting average.
Sure.
Man, he does not swing and miss at fastballs. He's got a 15% whiff rate on fastballs last year. That's pretty damn good. He had a look at this, Jake. You're going to like this.
Sure.
He had a 1.00 slugging on off-speed pitches last year. 18 plate appearances.
Also good.
8 hits, 3 of them were home runs. Such small sample size.
Also good. Yeah, man. That Gio play. He's been so good. He's been so good.
Is there any part of you that thinks like, players, it's baseball. Players come and go. Is there any part of you that you think that we've seen everything that he has in the tank and like in his merry-go-round as a professional baseball player, like, maybe it goes back down to what he was prior? Or do you think that he's, there's other guys like maybe people were saying this about Justin Turner after his first 2 years of being good. Do you know what I mean?
That's fun, yeah.
Like, when did Justin Turner turn it on after the Mets released him and went to the Dodgers?
You asking when did Turner turn it on?
Yeah.
Michael K. would be so happy with you right now.
He would. Turner turns on that one.
Turner makes the turn.
29 years old.
Okay, so
Gio's 29.
Gio is 29 this year.
So imagine if that's his trajectory. Like, yeah, he was average, not great. That's what Justin Turner was with the Mets. He was an average player, hovered right under 100 OPS plus. He goes to the Dodgers. He becomes a 155 OPS plus, meaning 55% better, and he stayed that good for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years. So that's where my happy brain, that's the Gio story. That's what I've decided. It's not going to be a 3-year thing and then he regresses. It's just who he is now. So I've decided Justin Turner, Gio Urshela, same guy. Wow.
I love that.
PPP over.
I think Gio Urshela can be a little more special with the glove. Turner's good with the glove.
I was talking offense. The glove never changed.
And that's where I wanted to bring it back in this comparison. I mean, Gio Urshela, he played 167 games up until joining the Yankees, and he was a 57 OPS plus, Jim. He had a 589 OPS. Like, bad. Yeah. He was a bad hitter. So he comes over to the Yankees, and, that's not the biggest sample size. It's also not a small sample size. That's a sample size. If you're hitting like that, you're not going to play a ton. He comes over to the Yankees, and all he's done is hit, and it was a little younger than Turner, like you said. I don't know, Gio Urshela. It was a career change, but a little earlier. And I don't know. I think it's funny now that we've said all these stats. I'm looking at his career stats now, and it's a 273 batting average, a 322 on base, and a 753 OPS, which, we talked about range. I almost have that as my low end for Gio.
Say those stat numbers again.
273 batting average, a 322 on base, and a 753 OPS.
And
he's been a lot better than that for the Yankees. I'm also kind of going back now to where you're talking about like baseball happens and it's just how the sport works. If Gio had those career numbers, which by the way have been a lot worse than he's been with the Yankees, that's still great for us. Like with his defense he provides at third base, if he's just having a bad hitting season, you take that from our 7-8 hitter wherever he is. Mm-hmm. With the defense he provides at third base. That was kind of my caveat with all of that.
Caviar.
He kind of is caviar.
You think so?
I don't know.
I never had it, really. He played 15 games in September last year.
I don't get how you eat it.
How many do you think he didn't reach base on?
1.
Yeah.
Cool.
He's good.
He's good, man.
Hey, what was his postseason like? What does it look like? I know he had the big home run against Cleveland. He had 2 hits, so the last 4 games he went over.
Good in Cleveland, bad versus Tampa.
First game versus Tampa, good. How was he in 19?
Good versus Houston, Matt versus Minnesota.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I don't have much on Gio because he's just the happiest fella, and I have him penciled in, which feels really nice.
Same birthday as me, which I feel like doesn't get talked a lot enough on the Yankees broadcasts.
Same year?
No, he's
younger than you.
2 years.
Cuter than you.
Gio Urshela is 2 years younger than me.
And cuter than you.
He's a man who plays hot corner for the Yankees, 2 years younger than me.
Do you want to know what his last name is?
His last name?
Yeah.
I think I so think I have this.
I don't know. Do you?
Urshela.
No, Salcido. Giovanni Urshela Salcido. Must be a Colombian thing where it's not actually his surname or whatever. I don't know.
Okay. I see Giovanni Urshela as his name.
On Wikipedia?
On Baseball Reference.
Wikipedia's got Giovanni Urshela Salcido.
You could put anything on Wikipedia. I've seen pictures of people up there.
You shut up. You shut up.
What's, Hey, Jim.
Yeah.
What if he's better?
If he's better than what he's been with the Yankees? I don't know, man. What do you think he could be better than
Assen? Oh.
So on his Wikipedia, it specifies in the Spanish name the first surname Urshela and the second. So it's Salcido's his mother's maiden name.
Yeah.
Urshela is his last name.
Well, it's his surname. The last name on his birth certificate is his mother's maiden name.
That's the very last name on there.
Yes.
But
everyone can be right for this one. How about that?
They choose to only go by the surname, which is the first of the last names.
You were saying?
I don't know if he could be better than what he did in 2019. Like, I don't even know if I need to even ask that.
It's like scary.
You know, like I don't. Yeah. He could be.
It
sure.
Feels greedy.
It's so greedy.
We're not good at being.
He played
greedy.
132 games. He had a 314 batting average, a 355 on base percentage. He had an 889 OPS and a 132 OPS plus. And then last year in the shortened season, had a 136 OPS plus. So, I mean, I'd feel bad asking for more than that.
I know, man. I know.
Let's put some parameters. He is one of our batting average guys. I'd like him to stay as a batting average guy.
Okay, so we want that.
I'd like him to stay around 280.
How about this? Which, again, Jim, that's a low ask. That's on the low end from what we've seen from
Yankees. Yeah. I'd like the on-base percentage to stay above 360, to be honest with you. It's 355. I'd like him. I'd like it to stay there. Yeah. And then the OPS, if it's in the 8s, I don't care.
His walk-to-K rate did get a little better last year, and that's something that comes with experience and at-bats, so maybe we could look for some more Gio Urshela, the on-base guy. How about everything I'm about to say sounds greedy. Like, I was going to say I kind of want him to lean one way or the other, like almost like go full batting average, like hit 325 and lose some of the power. Like, just kind of have your own signatures.
But he got the batting average from swinging as hard as he can.
So hard. And, dude, one of my favorite moments that comes from these recent Yankee seasons is when Gio hits a bomb. There's twice a year when Gio just jumps an inside fastball, hits it 440 to left center, and you're like, he does that too? He can do that?
Yeah. I mean, his numbers last year. So in 2019, he was chasing pitches out of the zone pretty good. Let me find it was 40%. League average is 28%.
He was swinging.
So he was swinging in 2019. In 2020, he dropped that down to 27%, which is just under league average. That's a big difference. So I wonder if that's shortened season or if that's a change in approach. But yeah, he stopped chasing a lot in the 2020 season. He stopped swinging at the first pitch so much. Like in 2019, he was swinging. Maybe it was just like, holy shit, I'm hitting the ball. I want to keep hitting the ball. And he's just swinging a lot.
His walk rate almost doubled last year, which, again, if that's a sign of a growing up hitter or if that's, it was a short season, so I'm not going to live and die by it. But
how about this, Jake? He went He pulled the ball 33% of the time. He hit it straight up the middle 34% of the time, and he went oppo 31% of the time. Sprayed the whole field last year.
It's really unbelievable, and this is where you and I, everything we're saying about not being greedy, like the whole Gio Urshela experience, his defense, who he is as a guy, his offense, it feels a little bit like a fever dream.
He had no weak contact last year. 0.8% was weak contact. The league average was 3.5.
That's an October 11th thing, though.
No weak contact?
No weak. Well, it's one or the other.
I think you're just hogging all of it.
I'm only weak contact.
For all of the October 11s.
Yeah. That's my tribute to them.
Yeah, man. Like, he's top of the... He's up there in a lot of things. 90 percentile K percentage. I mean, he's slow. That's the only thing. He's slow.
Good.
But he's third baseman, so who cares?
Since Gio has joined the Yankees, only one third baseman has a higher batting average, Anthony Rendon, who some regard as the top third baseman.
Others regard as a monk.
Yeah, it's true.
It's true.
It's true. Jim, what if I told you his Baseball Reference projection has a 71% reliability?
Oh, that's good. We've seen 82.
And they still like Gio.
Oh, wow.
They have Gio hitting 283.
That meets my mark of being above 280.
A 342 on base.
A little lower than I want it to be.
An 820 OPS.
Sure, fine, great, dandy.
19 homers. They have him.
Let's get 20. Let's not sit at 19.
I think I'm with you there. They have him over 483 plate appearances, which is about exactly what he had in 2019.
I think he'll play more games than that.
So they have him. Well, he played 132 in 2019.
483 divided by 4 is 120 games. Okay. So let's get to 130.
But he's going to be walking more this year, Jim. So.
Yeah, but you know what? I like that. I think he's gonna. You know what I have him as?
Go on. Handsome.
No thinking. We're never gonna think about Gio Urshela this season.
Okay, I'm fine with that.
It's never. Oh, is Gio limping? Oh, when's Gio coming back from the IL?
Yeah.
Oh, Gio's been slumping a little bit. Kind of like how you don't think about DJ a little. You're just like, yeah, DJ's in there. He's playing.
Yeah.
I have that's Gio's year this year.
Okay. Yeah, I have Gio kind of in the same light as when we're doing series recap. If it's good or bad, it's kind of like it's me breathing heavy and going, Gio went 5 for 12 this series. What was that? Or it's going, yeah, Gio was 1 for 11. Don't really care. Did his job.
How many double plays do you think he's going to turn? Is that Max's over-under?
Probably 1,000.
That's not his over-under. Do you want me to
What is
do
it,
his
BBD?
over-under?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't that be his over-under?
Hey. Doing a great job, Max.
Sorry, if Max didn't realize I was joking.
His over-under, 294.5 batting average.
That's high.
So this is what people need to understand. That is such a fair number by Max. And the fact that that is a fair number is insane. Gio's hit 310 with the Yankees.
So this is where it gets tricky because I'll say something like, well, I don't need him to be that high, so it feels like an unfair ask, so I'll take the under, but I believe that he can and will do it, so I'm going to take the over.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Uh-huh.
I have Gio going full contact hitter. I just have Gio Urshela racing DJ for the batting title, so I'll go over.
Okay. Over under 17 double plays turned at third base.
Over.
He had 20 in 2019.
In April?
He had 20 in 2019.
Oh. Yeah. Over everything for Gio.
And let's not think about it.
If I lose a bet on Gio Urshela, good.
I'd like it to be oddly like, well, Gio's the 7th hole. And like it's just like Gio is 7th hole, third base. Don't think about it.
Oh, what if that would be if the Yankees do their horse spit with the top of the lineup, but the bottom's just like locked in?
Yeah.
Like it's Gio, Gary, Clint.
Gio is... Remember someone made up a second... Someone once said like the 8 hole is double cleanup.
Sure.
Like it was a baseball term. It's not a baseball term.
Yeah.
And sure, we'll have Gio be 8 hole double cleanup.
Double cleanup Gio Urshela.
No, let's do 7-hole, double 3-hole.
Maybe it's triple cleanup because he cleans up defensively.
He's a double 3-hole because he does the batting average as well. That's where I'm landing. I'm not going to think about him because he's going to be great.
He's like good.
Okay. That's the Gio Urshela
Gio,
PPP.
you're the best, man.
We met him once, too.
What was your interview question for him?
What's it feel like to be the best ever? That was my opening question.
What was his response to that?
What? Like very sheepish and shy and like, what?
What does that mean?
What?
Who are you guys?
Then you talk to him about being a goalie.
Yeah. Is he playing inning at shortstop this year?
Yes.